It's that time of year again, everyone. It's time for another top 10 Wonderkids video. Just as a refresher, I'm aware Camavinga's in the thumbnail. He's not in this countdown. These are 10 Wonderkids you can actually sign. There are realistic players that I think are worth picking up at the start of a Football Manager save game. If you enjoy this video, drop a like on it. If this video gets to 4,000 likes, I will do a top 10 Wonderkids for under £1 million. Check out the other top 10 and top 5 videos we've been dropping here on the channel, as well as the rest of the FM content. Subscribe so you never miss an upload. And, well, without further ado, let's get into this. So coming in at number 10, and the first Wonderkid of this countdown is Kvaratsi. I've not said that correct, but I've given it a really good attempt. This guy is 20 years old, a Georgian international, available for around 10 to 14 million pounds at the start of a Football Manager save game. As you can see looking at him, a player with immense technique, great flair, good dribbling, super talented player who can play on the left and right hand side, and actually has some pretty good current ability. His potential can see him lead to becoming kind of a Champions League quality winger, and well, with an obscure nationality, real versatility, and to be fair, the skill set to play a fair few different positions, you can really mould him into whatever player you need. And well, considering you can sign him for less than £15 million, could be a pretty good addition for your team in FM22. Coming in at number 9 in this list, we have got Burak Inc, who plays in the Turkish Premier League, I want to say. Yeah, the Turkish League 1 league. Is that the top flight? No, it's not. Look, this guy's absolutely phenomenal. He's 17 years old, can play centre mid or centre attacking mid, available for a really cheap fee as well. You're looking at less than £1.5 million if you snap him up at the start of your save game. In terms of the kind of player he is, I mean, he is a playmaker through and through. 14 passing, 14 vision, 16 technique, good dribbling, great first touch, can cross the ball as well, so you could very much train him to play out wide. What I would say is his mentals and physicals are a little on the low side. In terms of his current ability, he's got a long way to develop, but with the right TLC, he can turn into a phenomenal little talent. Worst case scenario, you're going to be able to sell him on for a little bit of money. Best case scenario, you're going to have one of the best attacking playmakers in Europe at your disposal, and you will have picked him up very early on for absolute peanuts. Up next, we've got Gonzalo Ignacio, who is a Portuguese left centre-back. And the reason I say left centre-back specifically is because you're going to want to play this guy in a back three. He is a crazy, crazy good player. Not the cheapest by any means. You're looking at around £25 million at the point of recording in the beta in order to pick him up. Now, whilst he doesn't have a single attribute above a 15, you can see here so many of them right on the verge of being that little bit better. The reason he's not higher in this list is just his high initial cost. In terms of his potential ability, he is a super consistent player. Many of the players in this list have variable potential abilities, save game to save games. Gonzalo is not one such player, and yeah, he is just a tremendous little talent. Very rare to find a good centre-back who's also left-footed. As I said, has the potential to play wide centre-back as well, and if you've got the money to splash, if you're going to be committing to a free at the back, it could be a very, very worthwhile investment. Up next, we have one of 2 Italians in this list. We have Samuelri. He plays for Empoli, and as you can see looking at him, he is crazy, crazy well-rounded, immense physicals, really good mentals as well. Not a single one in either of these columns below a 10. And he is just a ready-made talent who I think can play regular first-team football off the rip. Not the cheapest player by any means, available for around £15 million. At 19 years old, though, you've got a few years left to very much develop him. Has some really nice player traits, well, gets forward whenever possible, dictates tempo, tries long-range passes, runs with the ball often. This man can be an absolute engine in your midfield. 14 passing, 14 vision, as well as great first touch and dribbling. Really could lead to him being a phenomenal roaming playmaker, I think. As you can see, last year was playing with Empoli in Serie B, saw them get promoted. This year, he is just one of the top talents in the game. Very rare to find centre mids this complete at this kind of age. If you treat him well, he will guide your team to victory. And it's for that reason he's in at number 7. In at number 6, we have Jansford Raboa Königsdorfer. I hope I did that. I haven't said it right, have I? Let's be honest. Let's move on. We'll call him Ransford Yeboah from now on. This guy, second tier of Germany, chilling at Dynamo Dresden, What a talent. He can play as a striker or out wide. 14 pace, 14 acceleration, 14 stamina, 14 agility, 15 natural fitness. And, well, he's got the holy trinity, as far as I'm concerned, for an advanced forward in dribbling, finishing, and first touch. He is one of the older players in this list, so you're not going to have quite as long to develop him to help him reach his potential. But if you do help him reach his potential, you are on to a top quality player. He is an absolute bargain as well at the start of the Football Manager save game. You are not going to have to pay too much for him. As I said, maybe a little bit tricky to develop him in the timeline that you've got because he's 19, but certainly worth a punt. And I think given his current ability, even at the age of 19, just to sign him to play, given how good he is now, he'd be a pretty good addition for most teams. And because he plays in the second tier of Germany, he's going to be very open to a move to a whole range of clubs. It's taken us a little while, but in at number 5, we have a South American in our list, and we have Facundo Farias. This guy plays for Colón over in Argentina, and as you can see, looking at him, what a versatile, talented player. 18 years old, available for around £5 million. Looking at him, great technicals, great mentals, great physicals as well. Maybe lacking a little bit of pace, but he is a natural centre attacking mid who can play as a striker, could possibly be trained to play out wide or to play a slightly deeper role in the centre of the midfield. I think for me, when I look at him, I'm thinking centre attacking mid. A natural playmaker with 15 long shots as well. Yeah, it's very rare that in these lists we don't have any South Americans. There is one more to come in this list, so don't worry, Brazilians, you've got some representation coming. But for me, Farias is just a really exciting player, available for, well, not a great deal of money. And maybe here we have a worthy successor for all the Thiago Almada fanboys out there, because let's be honest, Thiago Almada, he's like FM20's news at this point. Welcome in, Farias. You're probably going to be a Football Manager fan favourite. In at number 4, we've got Noni Madueke playing for PSV, an Englishman. It's very rare that we have English players in this list, but I've included Noni here because he's absolutely crazy. This man can play out on the right, cutting in on his left foot, could be possibly trained to play striker, can play out on the left. When I've done some sims into the future, he always ends up at Man United or Man City, or just one of the big boys. He is 19 years old, has crazy potential, can be one of the best players in world football. And one of the reasons he's in this list is just because it's very rare to have an English wonderkid this good available for less than £30 million. That's not to say he's going to be affordable by any means for lower league teams versus perhaps some of the other players in this list. But in terms of bang for your buck, even for just shy of £30 million, you're getting yourself a mighty good deal. Has tremendous pace, great flair. For me, I think I would probably end up training him to play striker. I think that is where he could really shine. I'm looking at the 15 composure, the 13 finishing, and the 12 off the ball. If they all just improve a little bit, you've got one of the best strikers in world football going. And, well, it's for those reasons Madueke is in at number 4. So I mentioned earlier there would be another Italian coming, and in at number 3, clinching the bronze medal, we have Wisdom Ame. This man is a smart signing. Wisdom? Smart sign? Look, let's move on. This guy's 15 years old. You can approach to sign him at the start of a save game. Although he won't necessarily talk to you right away, you can still make a transfer offer and sign him. Wisdom Ame here, he always goes on to become one of Italy's best centre-backs. He always picks up international caps, available for less than £10 million at the start of a save game. He's got ready-made physicals. Every single physical is above a 12. Let me just remind you, he's 15. I wouldn't train him to play right-back, though. His dribbling and crossing really aren't that. But as a centre-back for the future, there's not many better than this guy. There's not many wonderkid defenders this year that I can truly endorse. This guy is, of course, the one of only 2 in this countdown today. But Wisdom Ame, a tremendous bargain, a player who, as I mentioned, will just go on to be the best centre-back in Italy, will pick up a load of international caps, available for less than £7 million at the start of a save game. Kind of feels like a no-brainer, doesn't it? First there was Neymar. Then there was Gabriel Barbosa, and now we have another Santos striker to add to the Football Manager archives. Angelo, 16 years old, can play out on the right wing, train this guy to play striker, do the right thing. He's absolutely phenomenal. Available for around £10 million in the first season. Of course, this year transfer ranges changed slightly, so he may be available for slightly less or slightly more for you. He's 16 years old. He's bloody brilliant, isn't he? 14 dribbling really stands out in terms of his technicals, although his finishing, first touch, passing and technique for a player of his age are also really, really great. A quite creative player, might I add. His mentals as well for his age are top drawer. Has everything that you need for a natural goal scorer. Frequently, you're going to see this guy pop up in your FM save games. He's going to be the man leading the line for the likes of Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid or Liverpool going into the future. And, I mean, what else is there to say? It's a Brazilian striker wonderkid. We have one of these come around every few years, it feels like, at Santos. Angelo is probably going to be someone who's haunting your dreams this year with FM22. Maybe sign him before he can do any of that kind of damage to you. And last but not least, perhaps the most well-known player on this list in at number 1 is Kareem Adeyemi, who plays for Salzburg. Available for £15 million in the first transfer window. I'm just go and sign him. Just go and sign. He has some of the best potential ability in this game. He is the most affordable best wonderkid by a country mile. 19 years old, blistering pace, great determination is always going to help him develop. Is left-footed but can play on the right side of midfield, cutting in if that's the kind of player you're looking for. And frankly, he's just bloody brilliant. For £15 million, you're not going to get better bang for your buck on a long-term save game. Great mentals, the raw makings of just a top-tier talent. Sometimes you look at a player and it's kind of just obvious the kind of player they're going to become. Kareem is one such player. As I mentioned, playing for Salzburg makes him fairly affordable and fairly easy to attract to top European clubs around Europe, and you are going to want to sign him before someone else does. As I said, he's in at number 1. I think it's kind of obvious why. He's absolutely bloody brilliant. Let me show you what he looks like in the future, potentially. Yeah, I mean, when he scores against you in the Champions League final, have fun. He's good. He's in at number 1. I don't think this needs much justification, to be honest. Anyway, folks, that wraps up this top 10 Wonderkids video from me. Is there any of these players that you've picked up? Maybe there's a player not in this list who should have been in this list. I will say now, this year was particularly difficult to whittle down my collection of Wonderkids down to this list. As I mentioned at the top of the video, if we hit 4,000 likes, I will do a top 10 Wonderkids for under £1 million. Keep your eyes peeled as well. In the next couple of days, I'm going to have a Wonderkids shortlist dropping with over 600 players. You're not going to want to miss that one. I will see you guys again next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll see you all in a bit. I'm out.